Hey, guys.
Wow.
Hey, guys. Welcome back to the 8th episode of the Bodo Podcast. Now, today I have a very special guest. He's been a lot of my old films and currently working on, as a guest star, um, Spider-Man himself, Levi Balla.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so give an idea who Levi is. Levi is sort of co-working with me live action Toy Story 2, and he's playing Spider-Man in our first Spider-Man 2 fan film. And I thought he's a perfect guest to sort of bring this sort of a cool kind of Spider-Man topic. But yeah, Levi, do you want to sort of introduce yourself?
Oh yes, absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name's Levi. As Shazib said, I'm one of his oldest friends. I've been on this channel for a long time, and we've been friends since literally day one of secondary school.
Yeah, literally day one, because I remember going into school, right? And we had the same pencil case.
Yeah, we actually did.
And I remember I was late for my first day at secondary school, and our teacher who was teaching us at the time, he was like, "Oh, you see that's this kid." I was like, "All right."
All
And
right,
then since that day, we just kind of became best friends,
best
and
friends.
then we've been working on a lot of films, and we did these very fan-made Star Wars films. We call it like BD Star Wars. It was like a short name of Bodo.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, we did BD Scream, BD
Yeah,
Halloween.
BD Halloween, all the horror movies, and also Spider-Man Legacy, which I don't want to talk about because
Oh,
oh god, that was the worst Spider-Man movie I've ever made. But because we actually got honest trailers to voice in it. And then,
yeah, Screen Junkies.
yeah, well, the voice of Honest Trailers played the Green Goblin, and I thought that was like I didn't know it was Honest Trailers during that time, but but yeah, like Levi. So me and Levi sort of grew up watching all like the we've seen kind of three generation of different Spider-Man over the years, and different interpretations, different kind of styles and characters and very different ways. And it's interesting
Yeah,
how one character can be played in much different roles and ways. Like going from the comics or stuff from the cartoons or anything from the games as well. Like because we can also relate, like the PS4 Spider-Man.
yep.
Um, and we want to sort of go to the basic and what makes a great Peter Parker slash Spider Man. Like what kind of brings that guy from the comics into real life. And I remember how was it? How was it like for you playing Spider Man? Like, no, this huge character. And I know it's just for many a fan film, but what was it like for you? Like in that kind of way?
I enjoy doing it. Hard to describe actually though.
Because you kind of get like a very similar in a way because with any like not saying like it's not like how Tom and Maguire and Garfield acts and you kind of go depth with the character you do a lot of like you kind of
Yeah,
understand.
there is. Yeah, you're not them, but there is that responsibility to do this character justice kind of thing.
Yeah, it's all like it's very like you go kind of deep to the lore as well. Like sometimes like stuff like when you're making especially fan films, you don't know about this. Like oh god, I didn't know this happened to Spider-Man, or you kind of go quite deeper to his story, which I find really interesting. But yeah, well, anyway,
Yeah.
this today's topic is about who is the best Spider-Man, and like I said, there's been a lot of different kind of generations of different Spider-Mans over the years, and um, but each I think each Spider-Man has a kind of pros and cons.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, Levi, well, who do you think is the best Spider-Man?
For me personally, it's either Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland.
Yeah, I think I think with Tobey Maguire. So this is all about opinions. So it's nothing to do with like who is just like who is the best Spider-Man. This everyone has their own kind of opinion.
Yeah, like it's like our opinions.
So please don't dislike if we don't
Please
choose.
don't.
But for me, like I said, I'm gonna say Toby because Spider-Man 2 is sort of my defense of that reason why I think Toby plays a perfect sort of Spider-Man. Now, as Peter Parker, because Peter Parker, to me, Peter Parker and Spider-Man are literally the same kind of character, you know, but Spider-Man is sort of like the outside shell of Peter, if you know what I mean. It's sort of
Yeah,
like his outside comfort zone. But what I love about I love that version of Spider-Man is that it feels like he's straight out of the comics, and it's sort of like where Peter Parker struggles in life. He's got debt, and he's got relationship problems. And he risks all that, his like personal life, especially wants to be with Mary Jane, than being, Spider-Man, and taking a kick every single time. He doesn't gain stuff being Spider-Man. He just makes him more becoming like a menace. Or.
yeah,
But he does it because it's part of his responsibility. And then that's one of the most keyest thing about Spider-Man is why does Spider-Man do these things, Does it do it to be cool, or does it do it to be, to try to show off, or does it do it to, help people? Or does it do, because there's a very key scene where Toby obviously, doesn't become Spider-Man for a while, and he struggles of like feeling guilt. And to me,
yeah,
that's just straight from the comics. Like, oh my god, he's very relatable because he never gave that guy a break, but we love this character. And I think when Stan Lee created Spider-Man, he didn't want to make another Iron Man or Captain America, like a very
yeah,
cool superhero. He wanted to make just an ordinary person, like a comic reader, and just sort
yeah,
of have real life issues. I think that's what's incredible about this character. And Spider-Man 2, I'm gotta say, is one of the best superhero movies ever, really ever to be made.
yeah.
Because
I agree with you actually. Yeah,
they definitely done his character so perfectly, and showing his like struggling in life and just everything. But yeah, like with Garfield, I think Garfield is sort of like the cool version, the quippy, because I think Toby didn't do much lot of quips. I think that's what people complain about.
no,
Uh,
he didn't do a lot of that really.
but I'm gonna say something later on why he shouldn't do quips. But that's like, wait, what do you mean? Spider-Man quips all the time. But I'm gonna get to that point later. But with Garfield, is that Garfield has always sort of been this sort of cool version, but like straight out of the comics with his Spider-Man, who's, swinging around, saying his jokes. But I just don't think his Peter Parker wasn't really done too well, because he's sort of
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
they made him sort of too, usually made him a bit too cool. So this sort of,
Yeah, yeah, I do agree with you. He did kind of give off that kind of vibe. It's like he's not like this nerdy outsider kind of thing.
'cause the whole point, you don't want to be Peter Parker, you want to be Spider-Man. And I want to be Peter Parker because because look how cool he is, and um, and this sort of skateboarder, and not saying Garfield hasn't. He did a great job in his acting skills. This has nothing to do with
Yeah,
the acting.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
more about how the character is written. So this is how we are comparing them, just to get people on the line.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, like I feel like Garfield was a little bit as Spider-Man. I gotta admit, he was a bit irresponsible with a lot of the scenes where a lot of his there's for example the Rhino fight in the opening scene in Amazing Spider-Man
Oh
2.
yeah.
He just sort of let the truck go while I start crushing into things and just saying
Yeah.
jokes. I just felt like, well, hang on, Spider-Man won't really do that. You'll be a bit more kind of responsible of what of people
Yeah,
like
he'd
surrounding.
at least try and take it seriously.
But no, but we need some jokes in the film, so
Yeah.
all right. And now, after obviously there's been that second version of Spider-Man, we have the a lot of people's favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man. Now, this is just my opinion, so don't hate me for this, guys. But I think Tom Holland is does the role incredible. This is nothing against Tom Holland's acting or anything like that, but this is the way I think the character's written, um, in that sort of way. So I feel like I personally think Tom Holland's Spider Man is sort of how can I say this nicely?
Mhm.
But I think Tom Holland's Spider Man is I think he's sort of like not the perfect Spider Man I thought he would be because I feel like everything was sort of given to him or it was too easy for him. You know, he can rely with Stark and it's all
Yeah. Stark gave him a lot of like his suits, his equipment.
and I think they kind of retcon the story so much because there's nothing original about why he's doing it. There's no reference to Uncle Ben, and I know they didn't want
No,
to
there isn't.
they don't want a repeat of the same thing that happened with Uncle Ben. They're like, oh, we did the gun shooting thing, but look at the PS4 Spider-Man, for example, because look how they kind of just, hey, look, it's they at least referenced the guy without
Yeah, that's
showing.
like even that would have been sufficient.
But there's
Like
just
without oh, you go.
no, you go.
That's fine. I forgot what I was gonna say anyway.
Yeah, it's just sort of like they replace Uncle Ben as um as with Tony Stark's character, which is just Spider-Man is not Spider-Man without Uncle Ben. It's sort of like
Yeah.
that's his key of the reason why he became Spider-Man.
Yeah, like with great power comes great responsibility. I'm sorry.
Nah, don't
I've been
worry.
busy all week.
Yeah, but yeah, like how Levi says, it's great power comes great responsibility, and Uncle
That's what
Ben taught the lesson of Spider-Man's like,
yeah, exactly.
and it's all like okay, so hey, we got Spider-Man in the MCU, but this is like a completely different kind of Spider-Man. We're gonna ignore all the Uncle Ben stuff, and it just felt like a mini Iron Man, Tony Stark Jr. or something. But
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of what it feels like.
and this is to compare, and I know people. I agree. Like, look, Tom Holland plays him as a good Spider-Man, but I think the way he's written as Spider-Man, I don't think he's. Well, I don't like see as Spider-Man. If you get what I mean, but I feel like
Yeah,
I think the way Tom Holland plays him was really good. Because he tried to get his same Queen's accent, this nerdy kid. So he definitely fixed some problems with the Garfield universe, and he got a bit of similarities with Tobey Maguire, but is
yeah,
with his own way, and which is fine. I just felt like if they kind of written him the same way of Toby's, given him that stakes, that responsibility he has with Toby's, then that would
yeah,
be especially with the age as well. Like, so obviously people preferred as no, Spider-Man is meant to be young, You
Yeah.
know, he should have been in his 30s in high school. I think that would have been the best Spider-Man, but I just feel like
Yeah.
the MCU Spider-Man is just so, it's so easy for him, and
Yeah. It's like a bit of a wasted opportunity kind of thing.
yeah, and I think they do it a lot for comedic, purposes as well.
Yeah, comic relief.
Yeah, like it just I feel like the movies are just focused on too much on joke puns and you know, not saying they're bad, but I think when you don't have that the main Spider-Man themes, and it kind of doesn't feel right, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The Toby Spider-Man has that magic, that thing that what makes me want, the wise. I think it's sort of like the wise words from Aunt May, the lessons in life, and I feel like that was,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
um,
Kind of lacking in the MCU.
not saying Aunt May's done, but I just felt like the way they're written was just poorly.
Hmm.
And then the one thing that really bugs me is that I feel like when they just keep revealing his identity to the person he knows. Like the whole point of Spider-Man is sort of like, that's between obviously people do know eventually, but at least they
Yeah.
need a build up to that. The How it works with the three Spider-Man is that it adds stakes, and I don't think
Yeah.
it was a good idea to have Ned knowing him on the first film, because then there's
No, at least not till later on.
yeah, like because then you don't have stakes for him. You can have a bit of going back with Toby Spider-Man, right? Now, a lot of people, majority of a lot of people say he's not the perfect Spider-Man because he doesn't say a lot of jokes. Now, I'm gonna debate this, right? A lot of his scenes where he is fighting the villain or like Doctor Octopus, that scene where where or with Aunt May or Mary Jane, um, why would Spider-Man say a joke in a very critical time? When
Yes.
when 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 you know someone's gonna drop your loved ones 12 feet in the building, like just I feel like that's how it should be, because a lot of his scenes is where a lot of his loved ones been kidnapped. So, and he does say jokes a lot of in his early, it might be quite cheesy for some people, but it's
Yeah.
just I just don't think I just don't agree with those commenters where they say Toby's less quippy. And I think
Yeah.
I think too quippy can get a bit I know that's like in the
Yeah.
comics, but
It can get annoying.
but that's how if you're fighting a villain where they got your loved ones in danger, I wouldn't be too quippy.
No, of course
You
not.
become sort of like Deadpool,
Yeah.
which Deadpool's like, "Ah, I'll just kill you anyway."
Okay, you already bang.
But yeah, like, so to me, also, so should we talk about the suits?
Yeah, let's do that.
Um, so
Yeah.
I really like that original movie suit.
Yeah.
Garfield's suit is actually really cool. The main Spider-Man 2 one. And
Yeah, I like the design a bit as well.
I think it's the TASM 2. I think what people call it like a nickname. But the TASM 2 suit was just I feel like that's a lot of people say that's the best Spider-Man suit ever on screen. And it's a shame because they put that in the MCU. Because I do like the mechanic guys. Um, which was pretty cool. With the lenses moved for Tom Holland's suit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I think I just don't like the way they done the webbing. Um, and the symbol is a bit too small for me. This is going towards
Yeah, it is pretty small, yeah.
But yeah, Levi, what's your favorite suit?
My favorite suit is personally the Iron Spider.
Oh yeah, that is a pretty cool suit. I do like, and they prove with the logo. If these two guys do come back, we can maybe get some more spin off with these guys in their universe, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Like
that'd be awesome.
because what would be really more cool is at least have Maguire. Sorry, what I mean is let Marvel keep the rights of Tom Holland Spider Man,
Hmm.
so they don't have story issues with Sony's universe, and then Sony can do movies with their Spider, like their Tobey Maguire universe or the Andrew Garfield universe or a new Spider Man, or they can sort of,
Yeah,
and then we can put at least it's more understandable, and they can have like two versions. We can have two Spider Man films in a year, or without being it confusing, like
yeah,
touching
like
the
there's actual consistency to it.
yeah. What do you think of Venom versus Carnage?
To be honest, I haven't actually seen the first Venom, so I don't really have an opinion
Oh
on it.
no,
I know. I just haven't got around to it.
you didn't miss much. it's
Apparently not, no.
it's Tom Hardy screaming he's Venom. I don't know. You get a bit of that Eminem song. Just watch the Eminem music video and you've seen the whole film. I'm only kidding. Um,
Yeah.
there's Morbius as well. That's gonna be coming out soon.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Now, do you think they purposely put that Tobey Maguire suit, or was it a mistake? Because by a graffiti artist, like, we're gonna pay you all this money to make sure you painted. You had one job. Make sure
Yeah,
you paint.
one job.
And
One job, damn it.
he painted the wrong Spider-Man from a video game. I would surely Sony would know the difference between the suits. If they don't, and if it was a mistake, I am so worried. Maybe Avi Arad was a bit blind with seeing this. Oh god.
Who knows? Maybe it's all just a big coincidence.
But what would be cool is that if my theory was that that universe is the Maguire universe and the Venom universe is the Andrew Garfield universe, because I really feel I really kind of a sense that the Garfield universe is very the cinematography and the lighting is very the tone is very similar to Andrew Garfield with the Venom.
Yeah.
Um, because I don't really feel like that's going to be part. I remember there was a interview with Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige where they were asked if Tom Holland would ever could be crossing over with Venom in the Tom Hardy universe, and Kevin Feige's face is sort of like breaking his jaw, like what?
What?
We did not talk about this in the contract. But I feel like that didn't really fit with the MCU. Just the way it's kind of bit, because I'd rather have Spider-Man face Venom like in his own, because isn't there meant to be a very similar age between, with Eddie Brock and Peter Parker? If correct me, I'm
Yeah, I
wrong. I feel like they're
think
meant,
there might be.
and then it's like Tom Hardy's in his 30s or mid 30s, and Tom Holland's literally 24.
Possibly even 40.
Yeah, like I just don't think. Like, don't get me wrong, it's interesting to see them fight, but I don't know. I don't know what's gonna
Yeah,
happen. Um,
yeah, it depends what studios want to do.
yeah, I would actually like to see one thing. Like when they cancelled Amazing Spider-Man 3, I would actually really want to see the black suit, Tasm Spider-Man.
Hmm.
I think that would be a pretty cool suit. But yeah. All right. Yeah. Anyway, guys, whoever's your favorite Spider-Man, we all have, you know what? No, we all have a Spider-Man in our childhood.
Hmm.
If either the Maguire and the Garfield, the Hollands, we all kind of grew up watching these films, and I think I'm kind of appreciated, like, at least had this like incredible memories having Spider-Man in our childhood.
Yeah, agreed. Like for me, I think the Sam Raimi trilogy is probably what got me into not only just Marvel movies, but probably superheroes in general.
Yeah, I remember being scared, like seeing the Green Goblin for the first time. That mask like used to frighten me like so bad. Like, oh my god,
Oh gosh, oh no.
avenge me! Oh, I heard William Defoe's gonna be back or
Oh
something.
yeah, so have I actually.
And then is it Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman?
That one I haven't heard. Who is it that plays Doc Ock? I can't remember his name.
Alfred Molino.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, well, he's.
I've seen that. Here you go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say he's been spotted and set, and this is Zendaya was saying about he was nice to work with him or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I just thought what you said.
You stole my point.
He left. Avenge me.
Avenge.
Would we ever see James Franco return? I think that's gonna be a very hard question.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so.
I doubt it. Solely based on the Me Too kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hashtag Me Too.
But I feel like it's gonna be pretty cool to see Willem Dafoe. I
Yeah,
hope
definitely.
I know a lot of people hated his was it the motorcycle costume, the Green Goblin, but I liked that suit. I don't know what
Yeah,
it was
so did I
colorful.
actually.
It fitted the movie. It fitted the tone. I didn't like. A lot of people liked his original mask where they're gonna have these electronic eyes. I just didn't like that. I really like the mask is so perfect. Like it adds a bit of
Yeah.
fear. I just love that scene where he when he attacks Aunt May and he says, "Finish it,
Treasure.
evil!" Like, uh,
Deliver us from evil.
what's one of my actually one of my favorite scenes, right? And this is a very deep moment in this movie. In the scene where Green Goblin attacks Jojo Jameson, and Jameson, there's this famous
No, he sends them in the mail. Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me. There's a very similar quote in The Dark Knight. Like when Joker's in the interrogation room and he says to the police officer, like in their last moments, people show you who they really are.
yeah, that's what I was. You know,
So in a way, I knew your friends better than you ever did.
apparently,
Did.
apparently, Jameson is the same Jameson. That was probably meant to be the same Jameson in the Far From Home, but he just lost his hair. I could sort of see that as canon because in Spider-Man was it Spider-Man 1 or 2 when he says that oh you don't trust anyone do you? I trust my barber. His barber
Yeah,
must have really screwed up his hair. So I think that's kind of perfect if that's the
yeah,
same Jameson in the Maguire movies. Maybe it's the same Jameson, but I mean, might have sort of like
could be.
forgotten he's in this universe, or I think Tom Holland really wanted Tobey Maguire to become his real actual Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
I think I
yeah,
can
I
dig
read
that.
that.
I can dig that.
Yeah, same here
I
actually.
think that would be a great pass the torch moment.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Um, you know what also would be cool because apparently Bruce Campbell is returning as his cameo role in Doctor Strange 2. Well, because obviously Sam Raimi is
Oh yeah,
directed.
that's right.
Um, I would actually love him to play Mysterio still as the main, as the Maguire universe. 'Cause I know there's like, could have two Mysterios.
Yeah, wasn't he? Was he originally planning on being Mysterio in like
Yes, that
Spider-Man 4?
yeah, that's why I want him to play Mysterio because I love that. There's a sketch of him. There's in the original opening in Spider-Man 4. Godspeed, Spider-Man 4. I really I wish this movie was made, but
Same.
but yeah, there was like a little short scene when he takes Mysterio to the police station, and it turns out Bruce Campbell was Mysterio, and he was all these little cameos was part of his act or something.
Yeah,
So I want Bruce Campbell to be Mysterio, like even if it's like a short cameo.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Quentin Bick. I want to talk about our Mysterio because we got a
Yeah,
different version of our Mysterio because I remember when we were making Spider-Man 2, uh, we didn't know about Mysterio becoming a villain in the MCU films. Like
no, we didn't.
that announcement was literally when we started filming. Um, and I remember because I was trying to find inspiration of the comics and like the cartoons and seeing the different sort of versions. And I remember trying to find a suit for it because now you can buy Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio costume everywhere,
Yeah,
and we literally have to make our own. So that's why we couldn't really find a
yeah, we had to improvise.
yeah. And I felt like, but our version is very different from what's like in the movies. Um, I can't wait to you guys to watch this movie.
Same.
I can give you a bit of a hint. He's a bit of a we kept to the idea that he's an actor, but his character's kind of European. He has a very funny. There's a scene I'm in. I play as a director. Breaking the fourth wall
Yeah.
there.
Theater
But
director.
I play as a director, and there's a very funny scene I had with Sam Connor. He's the guy playing Mysterio. I mean, I really try to have a still face in that scene because he says something really funny in less of like a French language. You pig,
You stupid English pig.
pig. I'm just reading some of the live chats. Um, what was it like putting the suit on, Levi? On the
Yeah, it was alright actually. It fitted perfectly. It was a good size, good fit.
I remember the lens was really hard to see. We had issues with the lens.
Oh yeah, definitely. They kept
It-
steaming up.
yeah. But we got brand used to in the second one. Well, not a suit, but more like a mask.
Yeah, new masks, new lenses.
Oh god. And he got,
Yeah.
you know, um, we're still I maybe we're allowed to say this, but we might be still in development with Spider-Man 3 as well. Because it's a planned trilogy, isn't it?
Yeah,
But we won't be
we're in the drafting stages
we won't be working on that for a while. So, how our
due to
schedule
COVID.
COVID, but how our schedule is we're gonna try and get TS2 get pushed first because that's the I'm mostly focused on that, and hopefully a lot of people are really looking forward to that. It's looking so great at the moment. Um,
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's going great.
I remember there were good times though.
Yeah, they were great times. Yeah, I enjoy doing it.
But yeah, well, the schedule that I'm doing some stuff at home, so I'm filming what I can, and then hopefully when COVID is, we literally are on lockdown at the moment, so we can't even
Yeah,
and It just has a huge delay, but hopefully when lockdown ends and when things start to get a lot better, then I can't wait
Yeah, like
to
we can
we'll
resume.
resume some more stuff and filming. But yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, guys, so I think this is probably when we end our Spider-Man stream. Levi, do you want to say anything else before we go?
Yeah, I just want to say just thanks for having me, and thanks for everyone for watching in,
All right. Thank you, guys.
and thanks for everyone for watching in.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
And
you.
hope you enjoy the stream. And Spidey out.
Spidey out, guys.
Peace of time.